Howdy folks, Kevin J. O'Connor here once again, Carolina's own Podforce 5. We're lucky here today to have Gabriel Manak, a good friend of mine, a world traveler. He's in town for just a couple of days. We were able to get him on the couch for some Q&As. And how you doing?
Doing great, Kev.
It's great to see you.
Good to see you too, man. Yeah, it's been a bit.
Gabriel and I have known each other for about three and a half years?
Almost 4 years.
Almost 4?
I think in August or something. Yeah, in August it'll be.
Seems like
years.
10, but yeah.
Yeah, very long time.
3, 4?
He's basically my dad.
Bad son. Yeah. Prodigal son. He returned, so I told him we'd get him.
For sure.
We get him for the Podforce. But no, so great to have you here today. Gabriel is an actor who has had a very full career in a very short amount of time. As you can see, Gabriel's a little younger than I am, so it's been fun. We don't compete for the same roles, but we've been in many of the same productions. So it's been a great opportunity to see each other in front of the camera and behind the camera. Gabriel, why don't you share with us how you started in this industry? You didn't originate in Charlotte, right?
No, I'm originally from New Jersey, and yeah, I mean, I think about 2 or 3 weeks after I finally moved here in June of 2013, I heard from somebody I had met through a friend how to submit for work in Charlotte, and I was submitting for work for Homeland and Banshee, and then in Wilmington for Sleepy Hollow and Eastbound and Down.
Right.
And I first started working on Eastbound and Down like so many days. I decided I actually had another job lined up. I was supposed to be a waiter at what is this called? Cajun Queen, and yeah.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, good money and everything, and I decided not to go with that job because I did that for so long in New Jersey that I'm like, all right, so I started doing work in Charlotte, and I started working every single week, just submitting, and finally met you on Banshee.
Yeah, Banshee.
Yeah, it was fun.
Speaking of Banshee, I do have a funny story.
Oh God.
Gabriel and I were on set one day in a diner scene. Gabriel and I both started in front of the camera for these shows that filmed in Charlotte, and then we picked up behind the scenes work for either stand-in, body double, photo double, production assistant work, all the fun stuff. Really was a great learning experience here in the Charlotte film industry,
and also just life experience in general. I mean, like, you know, I guess we can get a little personal here. Well, you know, a lot of the people that I met. I mean, so many names. I mean, you, Richie Colon, Mel Birch, Joel Giamatolis, Geralimopolis,
Tessa,
Jim Gann. I mean, so many names. So many names. I mean, it's. I learned so much from you guys. So, you know, I was 26 at the time, and then just learned more and more how to. What it is to be an adult, learn what it is to be a great father, and all that kind of stuff. So in any case, life experiences and career experiences, all that kind of stuff. So
even though we have a lot of experience in Charlotte and the surrounding area, you've still found opportunities to go back to the New York, New Jersey market. I think you spent some time in Atlanta, of course. Tell us what brought you away from Charlotte.
Let's see. There was a lot of different things. I mean, at one point it was, you know, production started to slow down a little bit in North Carolina. Well, a lot. And I didn't want to go work in a restaurant. I wanted to continue working on sets, even you know, being a stand-in and all, because I felt the experiences and the networking was just so important. And I needed to eat. I needed to live.
Sure.
So so that's why I was pulled to. You know, I was like, hey, let me try out Atlanta. You know, go there. There's some work there. Then I'd go back to New York because, you know, I wanted to try that out as well. Just see what it's like. Regain some composure as well. Just like, you know, live at a place where, you know, rent free and all that. So
sure.
Yeah.
Well, so for Atlanta, Gabriel had an agent and was represented by an agency and did a number of auditions as they would come down the pike. Gabriel auditioned for a variety of roles. And tell us about the one where they needed a Russian coder. Tell us about that and how that happened.
All right. So this happens about a month after we finished working on Paper Towns. So that was like 2014. Yeah, November, December 2014. So after that, worked full 2 months. It was a great production. I decided to go back to New Jersey just to, like I said, just regain composure and all, and see what I could do in New York. And I got an audition one late Thursday night. I was at a bar with two of my friends, and I'm like, whoa, Halt and Catch Fire. I remember like either doing double work or something like that on season 1. Well, that's cool. Wait, hold on. All right, a Russian, a coder. It didn't even say Russian. They weren't sure which nationality or cultural background this character would have, but it said like at least 4 to 6 episodes recurring. This AMC show. I'm like, all right. So I filmed the audition that night at my buddy's house.
After the bar.
Yeah. So I mean, it was definitely fun, and I mean, didn't even have the correct setup. But I'm like, all right, cool. The line wasn't it was in English. The 2 lines were in English. And I'm like, well, let's just have some fun with it. So I decided to tag at the end of it. Tagging meaning like you say an extra line that you come up with, either you improvise or ad-lib, just to end the scene, with something of your own, to give the writers another idea. So in any case, I did that, did it in Russian, just responded in Russian.
Nice.
And sent it in, and 3 days later, I found out that I had to call back.
Yeah.
So that night, two hours after I got the phone call, I packed up my car, just with the bare essentials I needed.
Yeah.
And I drove down to Atlanta for an audition the next morning at 10 o'clock.
That is at least a 12-hour drive, isn't it? Or about 12?
It's about it's about 12. It took me 14.
Wow.
I maybe got a 45-minute nap
before their callback audition.
Yes.
For a major television show on the AMC channel, Halt and Catch Fire.
Yep.
And the lead actors, the guy from
Carrie Boucher,
Lord of the Rings.
Lee Pace is from
Lee Pace.
Lord of the Rings.
6'5", 6'7".
Yeah, he's about 6'5". He's very tall.
Amazing.
He's very tall. But I got there with very little sleep, with 20 minutes to spare. And
wow.
When I got there, they started asking the other actors who were auditioning, can you speak Russian or Bulgarian?
You got to the audition from the car 20 minutes before the time?
Yeah. I made it like early. I made it early.
Wow.
So, yeah.
And so you wore whatever you wore in the car?
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, had nothing special.
Did they bring up the Russian tag that you added on your audition?
They did not. Okay. But
did you do it again?
Yeah, I definitely did. I even, while everybody else was talking in the scene, because this audition is very rare, but they had like 5 people in the room at the same time, like 5 other actors.
Oh wow.
So I was just doing my own thing in the background, like between lines, and I was actually singing a Russian song, like to myself. So they're like,
"So Gabriel,
is he singing Russian?" And then after the first run, they asked, "Can you actually speak Russian?" I'm like, "Yeah." I responded in Russian. They're like, "Okay, can you just talk into the camera and just say, just tell us something?" And I did that, and then we all had a great laugh. And I went in 2 more times, and at the end of it, I knew that I booked it.
That you nailed it.
I was like, they didn't tell me, but I just knew inside. I'm like,
were you involved in any Russian collusion with the presidential election?
No comment.
Okay. In the spirit, right, of Charlotte film community, your career is now taking you out west.
Yeah.
So, what is attracting you out west? That what's out there that maybe we don't have here?
Well, this took some time for me to learn on my own, and through experience and through learning from others. A big part of it is the training, which is why the last 2 months I've spent time in New York training at UCB, at Atlantic Acting School, which is the school founded by William H. Macy and David Mamet. And then I also just finished up a 5-week on-camera class with Peter Miner, a Hollywood director, doing an on-camera class at T. Schreiber Studio, which is one of the best schools in New York. It's already having training is great, and you just need to have training. It's so important because chances are, you're going to be in class more than you'll be on set. I mean, that's just how it is. But just constantly keeping your craft well tuned, it's so important. But having the right names that are known to casting directors, it's just important because a lot of them are from theater backgrounds.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them were actors, and they still just I see Sharon Bialy and oh my goodness, I'm so sorry, I forgot her name. But a lot of casting directors, they still just go out and they go to plays and they watch them like on their time off, and so. And they know that these actors have gone to certain theater schools and all that.
Certain amount of credibility on your acting resume when you go to these courses with the known names.
Right.
And so you've ventured away from Charlotte to
Yes.
find these types of opportunities. So I see what you're saying with the training courses and the name brands of these people who have been doing it are well known. It just helps get the acting resume or that headshot maybe a little higher in the stack.
Yeah.
So I can appreciate that.
Yeah.
What advice would you have for the Charlotte film community? What could we do that would keep some people local from having to go to New York and LA for some of those instances?
I would say it would be great to set up events, even if it's like a weekend workshop, where they can get either casting directors that are from LA but have come here and they're doing some of the local casting, for them to do workshops either for audition techniques, on-camera acting, and just learning about the business as well, because that is so vital. But I would say, especially from what I've been reading the last 2 months, really just offering on-camera classes.
Right.
Because right now with Netflix and Hulu and Amazon and then all these new streaming services, more content is being put out there.
Yeah. A lot of original content happening.
Yeah, and it's happening rapidly, like more and more and more. So, and from what I've been reading is that because it's so fast now with casting, and pilot season it's not really a thing anymore. It's just constantly
It's
happening.
year round.
Yeah,
More so.
yeah. They're looking for those higher caliber actors who have that on-camera experience. And again, like I said, you spend more time auditioning or in classes rather than on set. It's important to have that on-camera experience. So, if you can get on set working as a stand-in, even that, it's so vital. Or even as an extra, just be on set. It's so important. They want people. They want to hire actors. They want to hire you. If you have that experience and that set etiquette, all that.
Yeah.
If you're somebody that they want to work with, doesn't matter what's on. It still matters what's on your resume, but that as well. It's like it's so important. So it's having those classes that gets you comfortable in front of the camera.
Sure.
Where you can keep an eye line, where you're not constantly moving, where it's just about what's going on here.
Right.
It's so important. You're already ahead of the game.
So we were talking earlier, so with the Charlotte film community, ever growing, ever budding, ever wanting to do more, some of the things that have attracted you to LA are there's just more. And it's not just more productions and more acting, but the community, the business community, seems to be more conducive to calling upon the film community to do things like commercials and adverts and print, just a number of different things. Mm-hmm. Are you going to get involved with any of that specifically, or what is your goal when you get there?
I just want to be submerged in the industry. Not just with submitting for all kind of work, but it's just networking. Getting involved in class, because there you meet editors, beginning producers, like all that. So you're not just working with other actors; you're really just working with everybody there. So, but another thing is like Craig Fincannon was telling me, and this other actors in this group, that live where you want to live. I've only gone to LA once for like 2 days. It didn't seem like the place I wanted to live. I know there are a lot of things there where I'm probably gonna stay clear of. But I love the scenery. I love the mountains. Charlotte is beautiful. So my love for nature started there. Then, but California, my God, the Runyon Canyon, all that. I mean, the hikes are beautiful. So it's live where you feel you can be yourself. You can be calm, less stress in your life, because then you have more time and energy to put into your craft, into things you want to do, which is making films or acting and all that stuff.
Well, we thank you so much for visiting with us today. We look forward to seeing you in many more productions in the future.
Thank you.
And make sure that you have like a +1 or +4 for your Oscar nominations.
For the Oscars?
Yeah.
Believe it or not, I do have a list. So
I'm just glad I'm part of it. That's great.
You probably most likely.
Thanks, Gabriel.
Thank you very much, Kevin.
Appreciate
Thank you. All the best to you guys.